You know, we hear the word marketing all the time, but what does it actually mean? For a lot of us, it probably brings up images of, pushy ads and spam emails. But what if the best marketing today isn't about selling you something at all? What if it's about creating real, genuine value for you? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down that exact shift.
Seriously, just for a second, what pops into your head? Is it some flashy TV commercial? Maybe that email you got this morning that you immediately deleted? Or, how about that pop-up ad that completely blocked what you were trying to read?
Yeah, if any of that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Marketing gets a pretty bad rap sometimes, as just the art of, interrupting people. And honestly, that reputation is kind of earned. It's rooted in a very specific, old-school way of thinking that ran the business world for a long, long time.
So let's kick things off by digging into that traditional approach. We'll call it the old playbook. And its whole philosophy was super simple. We've already made this stuff, now let's go sell it. Hard. This has a formal name. It's called the selling concept. The core idea here is that people just won't buy enough stuff on their own. You can't just leave them to it. So the company's job is to push and promote and sell. It's what we call a classic inside-out approach. It starts inside the company's walls with its needs and then works its way out. And this quote, it just nails the entire mindset. It's all about selling what you make, not making what people actually want. The product is the hero of the story. The customer, they're just the person you have to convince. The real goal isn't solving a problem for you, it's just moving boxes off a shelf. Okay, so this diagram shows that old playbook perfectly. Let's just walk through it. See that straight linear path? It all kicks off at the factory with the products the company already has. Then comes the method, a ton of aggressive selling and promotion, and the end game, profit. But, and this is key, it's profit that comes from just selling a huge volume of stuff. The customer is basically the final step, not the first.
But then, something really interesting started to happen. A revolutionary idea began to take hold. What if we just flipped this whole thing upside down? What if, instead of starting at the factory, we started with the customer? And that one simple question, well, it changed everything.
Now, to really get this big shift, we've got to understand three key ideas. First up, needs. These are the absolute basics, right? That feeling of being hungry or cold or needing to feel safe. Marketers don't invent these things. They're just a core part of being human. Okay, next up we have wants. A want is the specific shape that a need takes, and it's molded by our culture, by our personality. So for example, you need food, but depending on who you are, you might want a Big Mac, or maybe a taco, or a salad. It's the specific thing you're craving to solve that general need.
And finally, we get to demands. And a demand is pretty straightforward. It's a want that you actually have the money to buy. A ton of us might want a fancy sports car, but only the people who can actually afford it can demand one. And for any modern marketer, getting the difference between needs, wants, and demands is absolutely everything.
And that's because that very understanding of what people need and what they want and what they can actually buy, it's the foundation of all modern marketing. It's a total outside-in strategy. It doesn't start in a factory. It starts out in the real world, with you, the customer. Let's see how that just completely changes the game.
This one sentence right here is the heart and soul of the modern marketing concept. Just let that sink in for a second. It's a complete 180 from the old playbook. The whole focus shifts from trying to offload what you've got to actually creating and innovating things that people genuinely need and want. Now, when you see these two ideas side by side, wow, the difference is just so clear, isn't it? Look at the top path. That's the old selling concept we just talked about. Now look at the bottom one, the modern marketing concept. See where it starts? With the market, with you and your needs. The whole point is integrated marketing that creates satisfaction. And the end goal? Yeah, still profits, but profits that are earned by creating real customer value and satisfaction. It's a totally different and way more sustainable way to do business. So, how do companies actually do this? Well, they create a really clear value proposition. This is basically their answer to your biggest question. Why should I pick you over everyone else? Think about a brand like Volvo. Their value proposition isn't just, we make cars. No, it's safety. That is the specific value they promise to deliver on. But modern marketing actually goes a step further. It's not just about making one sale and satisfying one need. The real goal, the ultimate prize, is to build a lasting relationship, to turn that one-time purchase into a lifelong connection. There's a name for this: Customer Relationship Management, or CRM for short. You can think of it as the entire system a company uses to build and take care of relationships with its best customers. And the secret sauce is simple, but it's not easy. You have to consistently deliver amazing value and satisfaction.
This matrix is a really cool peek behind the curtain at how companies think about CRM. They don't just treat every single customer the same way. Down in the bottom left, you've got strangers, not very profitable, not very loyal. A company isn't going to invest much there. But all the way up in the top right, you've got the true friends. They're super profitable and super loyal. These are the people a company is going to bend over backwards for to keep that relationship strong.
And that's because those true friends represent something called customer lifetime value. And this is the ultimate scoreboard. It's not about one single sale. It's the grand total of every purchase that customer makes over their entire lifetime with the company. Think about your favorite coffee shop. Your value to them isn't the $5 you spent today. It's the thousands you could spend over the next 10 years. Losing one sale is a bummer. Losing a loyal customer? That's a disaster. So we've gone on quite a journey, right? From that old product-first playbook to this new customer-first world of building relationships. Now let's just zoom out one last time and see how all these pieces click together into one big modern process.
And here it is. This is the blueprint for modern marketing. Let's just follow the flow. It all begins right here, with understanding the marketplace, understanding customer needs and wants. That knowledge then helps you design a customer value-driven strategy. From there, you build a marketing program that actually delivers that value. All of that work leads to building profitable relationships and creating real customer delight. And what's the result? The company captures value back from its customers, not just in sales, but in loyalty.
And of course, this whole thing isn't set in stone. It's alive, it's evolving, it's being reshaped by massive forces all the time. I mean, think about the explosion of digital and social media, the complexities of a global marketplace, and this growing demand for companies to be more sustainable and socially responsible. All of that is changing the rules of the game as we speak. So, I'll leave you with this one last question. Think about the brands you really, truly love, the ones you go back to again and again. Are they just selling you a product? Or have they actually figured out what you need and created real, tangible value in your life? I think the answer to that question tells you everything you need to know about the difference between just making a sale and actually building a relationship.